needs to get out the way. It's kind of rare, Iman, to see him frustrated like that. What did you make of those comments?
I think, one, I was impressed to hear him say he's the offense. That was
not a lie.
I get it. He scores the ball and everything. I totally understand. What I can't understand about the comment is afterwards then saying you're gonna give them the ball. Like, it's like you can't do both. You can't be the offense and then say I'm gonna let them dribble the ball. It's like we got to pick how we're gonna be aggressive, pick our spots, and make sure that doesn't happen again.
The only thing I would add to what he said is correct. I am the offense, but I am the most consistent offensive player.
Come on now.
And that is the truth. He's talking about the 7 turnovers he had in the game, and those were not clean ones. Those were almost passing the ball right over to his opponent. The frustration for the Houston Rockets is that they are easy to game plan against, especially when he is the offense bringing the ball up the floor because you double team. But typically in those circumstances, you have 2 defenders outside of the 3-point line, which means it should be easy to make the reads to be able to finish. And right now, the Rockets don't have the right decision makers, or maybe at least trust or confidence in their ability to be able to make those plays that count.
I'm giving him a pass because I'm giving Durant a pass because they don't have the system or the personnel right now to handle a game like this. Like, well, there's 5 minutes left in this game. I almost like, Wemby's on. I'm gonna turn it over because I know what's going to happen. The Lakers are the best clutch team in the league. They get into a clutch situation. They have ultimate confidence. The Rockets are one of the worst in terms of good teams. They're one of the worst clutch teams in the league.
Without a doubt.
They have routinely not been able to finish offensively. Quite frankly, Malika, when they get into clutch situations, their numbers make them turn into the Utah Jazz. And I'm not trying to insult the Jazz, but they morph from a top 4 team in the West to the Utah Jazz. And the reason is because
Utah Jazz slander.
The why is important, though.
Well, when terms to their net efficiency, in clutch time is the same as the Utah Jazz is for the 40.
But the question is why? And the answer is because they don't have a true point guard. But we've known that over the course of the entire
so they had a bad break. Their break is that Fred VanVleet gets hurt in September, where they don't have a roster spot and they're up against the apron. They believe in Reed Shepherd. They think Reed Shepherd can be a point guard in the future. The problem is that Ime Udoka doesn't believe in Reed Shepherd at the end of these games. The reason Durant is the one out there is because Ime doesn't have him in the game because he's a target defensively. Now, they may end up, guys, benefiting. Fred VanVleet may come back next year, be awesome again. Reed Shepherd may really benefit from having these, high-stress moments. And in a year, they may be saying, aren't we glad we didn't use any assets to rent a point guard? But when you have a 37-year-old player in Kevin Durant, you're not necessarily putting your team in the best position to win. And the numbers just do not lie. They have routinely not been able to get it done in close situations.
Yeah, my biggest problem with having Kevin Durant go out there and have to depend on him so much when you do that, throw that double team at him, and then you see him make an unaggressive turnover as opposed to making a nice decision. Everything you see, he's on his heels in these possessions. He's backing up, steps on the line right there. Non-aggressive. You don't have Kevin Durant getting a look at it. He's not even attacking the guy that's closing out at him. And when I see Kevin Durant like this, it's going to automatically, when you say you're the offense, it's going to automatically put everybody else that's in a red jersey in that unaggressive mentality. And that's the problem that I have with this whole thing.
They also didn't have Şengün last night. That has to be pointed out. Şengün would have provided some relief.
Without a doubt. But not in the ball handling and decision making. I think Şengün just understands and appreciates the value of having another superstar next to him, but saying, I'm going to play as if Kevin Durant isn't out there. And that ends up working out. And that's what usually happens in an all-star game. So that's what I'm looking at.
It all comes down to winning the point of attack. And because he knew they were coming, it's almost like he was casual versus having that point of attack that you initiate. That's a better fix. I don't think we're going to see another game like that from Kevin Durant.
Oh, no, he took accountability for it.
These have been some of the issues that have plagued the Rockets all year long. So certainly I don't want to overlook that. These are things that are going to come up against team after team after team. But the Los Angeles Lakers, they also did this to Houston. They saw the game plan and they said, you know what? We are going to employ ours and we're going to do it well. They continue to send the double team. They haven't exactly been a defensive powerhouse all year long, and yet here they come. And Brian yesterday said on our show, he said after the Houston leg of this road trip, he could be ready to declare this a success or not, depending on how this swing goes. What are we thinking so far?
Awesome.
They got to
the
win
Lakers.
the next one.
Just get into the last 5 minutes in a close game. I like the Lakers, but I will say this. They could bring Şengün back tomorrow, and if the Rockets win tomorrow's game and just split this, it's a win for them. The standings are equal, and they win the tiebreak. So Houston, while we can really look at the way they failed last night, and we can praise the Lakers, this can be totally flipped around with a good game tomorrow night.
I did walk away from this, though, for Los Angeles, saying, Sinead, you know what? This is a real winning streak that they're on right now.
Finally, you're starting to see the big three have real chemistry and picking their moments and sharing the basketball. It was that Austin Reeves drop-off to LeBron to have the dunk. Those are the things that galvanize your squad. I look at the Houston Rockets, and I'm like, typically under Ime Udoka, they're the bullies, they're the dogs. But it felt like the Lakers were the dogs. They were bigger, particularly versus Reed Shepherd, versus other opponents. They would literally just mismatch him and then have people go to the rim, and they get easy looks. And you talk about defensively now, big caveat, Alfred Şengün did not play, but they held the Rockets to 35 points in the second half, the lowest half that they have had all year long. So I want to see them do it against the big teams, but it was a good
Is that a side-eye?
Oh, what?
Bombastic side-eye.
Not at all. I like the way the Lakers are playing right now. I do.
But you're not too
This
hyped
seems
on
like a butt that is
it's not a
hanging over
butt.
there.
It's not a butt. It's just I agree with you. When we start talking about the playoffs, I just, it's a different vibe
We're not
for
talking
me.
about the playoffs. We're talking about
No,
this winning
that's what I
streak.
said. The streak is great. It's been a great time. It's been a great time.
When it's a close game, the Lakers have a chance. So they just have to try to play in.
But I'm just saying, last night, Houston handed them that.
They beat themselves.
If they can do it again,
I'm not a guy that goes out there and says that.
On Thursday, we're going to be having another.
I'm not a guy that go out there and
conversation.
says that, we beat ourselves and everything. But that was one of those games.
All right. Well, there you go. The Lakers, though, they have won 6 in a row, and they're starting to piece something together, even if it comes with a little bit of Iman side-eye. We did also have dueling 40 pieces last night in Boston. Do you guys remember when Jaylen Brown said this part? He said, I don't foul bait. He said that against the Thunder. I don't know, maybe the Suns have a different opinion. I'm not saying that I do here. But we're going to pick this one up here in the second quarter. Boston up in this one.
Like it.
Jaylen Brown
To the cup. I
gets
like
inside,
it.
attacks.
He's tapping at the rim.
Jaylen Brown, he was 9 of 11 from the free throw
that
line
was
in the
good.
first half. So jumping ahead here to the fourth quarter.
Some course correction.
It's a 2-point game. This is a good one here, Brian. Jaylen Brown, once again, gets to his spot and executes.
There was no foul there. That was clean, high-level basketball.
Clean, mean, winning machine, green.
It is St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, jeez. Devin Booker gets to the cup, finishes 40 points on the night. Couple possessions later here.
Oh, scoop.
Can't fall asleep.
Weak side double.
To the Euro.
Hello. That's not an easy move when you put it back.
Tatum finished with 21 points.
He
in
did that
this
to
one.
show us he ready.
Yeah,
This is the next Celtics possession. Jaylen Brown there to clean it up. And then the Celtics closing this one out. Brown drives.
Man,
pump
muscle.
fakes,
Oh, my God.
nails the jumper. He finished with 41. By the way, 19 of 21 from the free throw line. That's a career high. For made free throws, Boston is cut. And the Spurs, they rolled into town looking for their 50th win of the season. Something that's been extraterrestrial. They haven't done it in nearly a
The
decade.
alien.
The wall was waiting, Sinead. The wall was ready.
I watched Alien Earth.
Oh, my God. They really
Creepy
running away with
series.
this?
Yeah, they're...
He was not intimidated.
Not at all.
You know,
Can he be the Lion King?
You know how far you have to shoot when Victor's guarding you? From another planet.
Oh,
See what I did?
what a star we have.
And the planet is 35 feet in this instance.
well, Darius Garland can make those types of shots.
Toilet bowl.
Showing off some incredible range there. Later in the second, though, the Spurs now leading by 9 here. Stephon Castle puts the moves on Brooke Lopez.
I'm athletic.
Come on. We got to see that again.
And then touch the glass like an 8th grader. Crazy. Go crazy.
Behind the back, he crossed over for the layup. And then now you can do a wimbo. Here he comes. The lob finishing over Derrick Jones Jr. It's just too easy here.
He is the lion.
Yeah,
Final
he's
20
alive.
seconds to the
Direction
fourth.
there.
I feel like we need a little harmonizing.
That defense was crazy. That defensive possession was crazy.
Right foot, right hand.
Oh, my God.
And then it was just another Magic Monday for the Hawks as they soared past Orlando.
I'll just pile them up today.
Well, I didn't get any lemon pepper wings here. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, though, hell nah. He was peppery in this one. Came out on fire for Atlanta.
Great signing in the offseason. Just
Yeah.
a great signing.
Kicks it again to Alexander-Walker. once again gets it to go, really heating up now.
I love teams that like playing together. They're looking like they're really starting to like playing with each other.
Got that one to go plus a foul. 14 points in the first, the most in any first quarter in his career. The Hawks up 13 after one. Hell nah, he didn't. All right, now to the second.
Hey!
Johnson for the slam.
Get all the babies out the street.
The bench is loving this one. Atlanta now up by 14. 8 minutes to go. Hawks up big in this one. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, guard that man. He's left open, wide open in the
That's
corner.
an X in the corner. You got to be there.
Johnson finished with 6 assists, by the way, just to Alexander-Walker. 5 of them on three-pointers.
He had a lot more than 6.
Kids, you got an X.
The Hawks up by 29. All right, later in the third quarter, Hawks up again. Drives on Paolo Banchero.
Wow.
That's tough.
And then watch the little stare down that happens
something to
after
say?
this. Hawks up by 26. All right, Johnson wasn't done, though. Nails the three-pointer there.
Light-skinned
and
men.
as soon as Johnson hits the three.
Same draft class. He has some of the stuff to say.
Okay, a couple of similarities there. 5 minutes left to go here. Nickeil Alexander-Walker once again. He tells everyone just relax, relax. He finished with 41 points in this one. And the Hawks win their 10th straight, Shanae. What stands out to you?
Close your eyes. They're streaking. Jalen Johnson is on pace to be just the 5th player to average 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists in a season in NBA history. So get that. Points, rebounds, and assists. This is more rare than you think. He is flat out balling. So you know it's time for me to talk nerdy to you. Jalen Johnson is currently averaging 23 points per game this season. More than Paolo Banchero, who he did put the clamps on a little bit, and Karl Anthony Towns. Now let's go over to the rebounds. He is averaging 10.4 rebounds this season. More than this kind of blows my mind. Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bam Adebayo. Now let's get to assists. He's currently averaging 8.1 assists this season. More than who? James Harden and LaMelo Ball. No shade, though, because I think Trey is on that list as well. The Hawks are honestly the hottest team in the NBA, winners of 10 straight, largely due to that man, Jalen Johnson.
Well, yesterday, Brian Windhorst, he billed this as the game of the night. I don't know if that came to fruition, but the Hawks, they recall.
Wait, was that face, Wendy?
It was a good game.
How everybody says the league should have fewer games and everything will be better.
Yes.
Steve Kerr said that.
This was more than Steve Kerr. This is what the Hawks have been living in a different world over the last 3 weeks. They've had this homestand where they played 10 out of 11 at home. Shump, look at all these off days. 14 off days in there.
Legs.
All right? They played one road game, and they had 2 days off on each side of it to ease in and out of Milwaukee there. Look at that. At one point, they only had 2 games in 8 days. Now, they also didn't play the toughest schedule, but guess what? They won all these games. So they win all these games, 10 in a row. They get it going. Jonathan Kuminga was dealing with an injury. They gave him all that extra time. He's back now. Look out for those Hawks. They're racking them up.
Look out for those Hawks, and yet they haven't made a ton of movement here in the standings, but a 10-game win streak, come on, is a 10-game win streak.
I love it. The thing that I love most is when I start looking at their pieces. That's one of those teams that we were talking about, the Hornets. Well, I was talking about the Hornets. I know everybody is high on them. But I talk about dangerous players that enter into the playoffs. Jalen Johnson is dangerous. That's when you start talking about, not too many people can match up with Cade over there, but he actually physically in stature can do it. Statistically can do it. So it's like when you look at matchups and you look at what guys could bring, I look at Jalen Johnson breaking out and having that army around him now. He's starting to feel it a little bit. You see it in the shoulders.
Well, the opponents for the Hawks are going to get I don't know about the shoulders, but the opponents are going to get a little tougher here in the next. I mean, it's only Anthony Edwards.
I can't wait till I tell you, Malika, you got too much dip on your chip.
Say that to the
That's the
former
best
president.
feature I've ever seen.
Ant Edwards, he keeps getting better and better, though, and not just in that piece, right? He's increased his scoring average in every season of his career, and now President Barack Obama has seen that up in person. And this season, that number is at 29.5 points per game, on pace to be a Timberwolves franchise record. And Ant has been steady this season, right? He's averaging just under 30 points a game against opponents that are 500 or better. That's the 4th most in the NBA and pretty close to a season average. But the Wolves have not been steady like like Ant, right? They're 16-19 against teams 500 or better this season. And Anthony Edwards, we just got a injury update here. The Timberwolves say that he is going to be reevaluated in 1 to 2 weeks because of right knee inflammation here. Brian, how can they stay afloat without him?
Yeah, this has been bothering him. He was questionable for the game over the weekend. He was, really rubbing it the other night. So you can tell, he was trying to play through this, but they got to protect him. He's already missed 10 games, by the way. Not that award season is that important, the Timberwolves season, but the thing about it is that they have not been great on defense this year. Last year when they got to the conference finals, they finished strong, but they've defended all season long. They haven't been a top 10 defense this year like they were last year.
Yeah, when I look at them, I think this is going to be a pretty tough blow. I know you got to give them time, but I can't see them doing much of anything without Ant-Man. I've seen them have their woes throughout the year, and though he's playing well, I'm trying to figure out how their record is reflecting what it's reflecting right now, how we keep even having to have these conversations, because it doesn't look like they're a team that's ready to walk into playoff territory. It just looks like Ant-Man can propel them to do whatever he wants them to do.
Well, they're 6-4 this season without Anthony Edwards, which isn't falling off a cliff here, Shanae.
But it's a tough time because I'm looking at the standings, and right now the Timberwolves are at 6, 41-27. The Suns are 39-29. So there's a 1.5 game situation where if they drop off with Ant out, they could be on the outside looking in.
The Suns have the hardest schedule amongst all of those teams, and that may end up being important here because Minnesota is obviously probably going to take a loss.
I do like 1.5 game situation, though. That's how I want to refer to it. That's not a difference. It's not a separation. It's just a situation. You're not separating, you're situating. By the way, the first 4, it tips off later tonight, and round 1 begins on Thursday. So for NBA fans, who maybe is a player that we should be watching that can make a deep run this year and we could be hearing about again in June?
Big Daddy Perk's going to like this one. Darius Acuff Jr. The dude is just different. High basketball IQ, big physical body, shot maker, floor game, has a great feel. At the end of games, all he does is make the right play. He had 31 in this basketball game. He also had 11 assists. Watch him draw 2, kick it out, has eyes behind his head, plays at a great pace, changes speed, changes direction. The best layup shooter in college basketball, and also a 40% three-point shooter. He reminds me of this guy, Lillard, Dame Lillard, in terms of Dame time. That's what this guy is. He's the best closer in college basketball also. You see that sidestep? Absolutely. Darius Acuff's got the sidestep. He's got the runner. He's a finisher. Right leg, off leg, offhand, and he's a terrific passer. These two guys are 2 of the same. Darius Acuff Jr. is the best point guard in the draft. And this guy right here, a little under the weather. Keaton Wagler, Illinois, 6'7" guard, unlimited range, can play off the catch, can play off the bounce, all kinds of runners in the lane, has a little Steph Curry in his game in terms of his range and his ability to use his angles in getting to the rim. Nice middle game, nice step back. This guy right here, an elite defender, can make plays for others, defend. Those 2 guys, they're lottery picks. Acuff is the best guard in the draft. Wagler, maybe the best, what I call ball guard in the draft, which is a scoring point guard.
Best ball guard, best guard in the draft. And if we're talking about the lottery, I feel like I've been hearing the same 3 names that have been at the top of the NBA draft board since the season started, right? We're talking about Darren Peterson. We're talking, of course, about AJ DeBanza and Cam Boozer. So of those 3, who has the most to gain, do you think, Coach, in this tournament?
Everyone's going to want to say it's Peterson. And people are going to say it's Peterson because he hasn't played as much. I don't think how he plays has anything to do with his upside in terms of the draft. I think really what it has to do with it is his physical and when he has his interviews, because the guy's talent is undeniable. He's so good. 3-level scorer, runner, willing passer, great body, does a nice job running the floor and catching in transition. It's all about his interview and his health. He's got to show people that he can play. More importantly, he can play through discomfort. But this guy right here, Cam Boozer, he's the most underappreciated guy in the draft right here. What I mean, he doesn't a runner. He's not a jumper. What he is he's a player. High basketball IQ. And right now they're playing him as Scottie Pippen. He's their backup point guard at Duke right now. He can shoot the 3. He can beat you off the bounce at the elbow. Great feet defensively and rebounds the basketball. You don't have to be a run-and jumping athlete to be a great player. That guy, Cam Boozer, he's ready to plug and play in the NBA, and not a good leader, but a great leader. for an 18-year-old. He's just a little bit different. He was raised to be an NBA superstar.
Raised to be an NBA superstar. You're making me rethink not having Duke in my Final Four. Okay, before we let you go, is there anyone else that we should know that you maybe have your eye on, even someone under the radar maybe?
Well, I'm not sure how far he's under the radar, but Nate Ament, 6'10", 7'2" wingspan, reminds me of Kevin Durant. Long, aggressive in terms of right now. He's doing a better job of getting to his spots, playing with a better base. You see him off the bounce, 6'11". Watch that high release point of his. He does a good job of getting to his spots, shooting a three much better. You can play him all over the floor, willing passer, can finish at the rim, and an elite defender with that length. So when I think of another guy that's a little bit under the radar, I think Nate Ament is under the radar. Started a little slow, but as he's matured into the game and got a little bit better understanding of playing with a base and more powerful, this guy right here, he's going to be an NBA All-Star.
Seth, I feel ready now.
Shoots it, long, athletic, reminds me of KD.
Reminds you of KD.
He's no
pretty high
shump, though.
praise.
He's no shump.
Well, no, not everyone can just walk around and be shump. That's kind of a different level. Seth, we appreciate the time.
I believe me, I experienced it in real time.
See, shump is just the definition of excellence. That's why I tried to dress like him today. Seth, we will see you soon. Appreciate the time. The tournament, it is set. The numbers, they keep on climbing here in the bracket challenge. Millions of brackets have been filled out. Some of us still have to fill out ours. Download the ESPN Tournament Challenge app. Fill out your men's and women's brackets right now. He's not a household name yet, but one player that you can expect to hear from next March, well, that's Christian Collins, the number 5 overall high school recruit, according to ESPN.com. And Collins has yet to declare a college choice, but spend 30 minutes with him, as I did recently, and the joy and the spirit that he has, it's just contagious. And his story is one that will stay with you. I know it did for me. He's facing a battle that we have yet to see in the NBA.
We have the number 5 overall recruit from the 2026 class here in studio, Christian Collins, his wonderful mom, Angel. Welcome to NBA Today.
How you doing? How you doing?
We are so excited to have you in our Los Angeles studios. Let's start with what we all love, which is basketball. Our national recruiting director at ESPN, Paul Biancardi, this is how he described you, which I thought is really interesting. He describes you as a tantalizing combination of size, length, mobility, plus good defensive anticipation. Is there a player that you think maybe in the NBA right now that your game resembles a little bit for all of the NBA fans watching, saying, all right, what are we going to see at the next level?
I definitely would say Pascal and a little bit of Kevin Durant, a little bit. I can play the 1 through 5. Whatever my coach needs you to do, I'll do it just to win. A team player, a leader, and things like that.
Mom, when do you remember him first picking up a basketball?
Ooh, he was about actually 1. I had a hoop on the wall, and he would stretch his little body to put the ball in the hoop. It was about 1.
You know, it was actually a video on YouTube of me dunking, and I was like 1, but it was like a little hoop, and it was, yeah, I remember that.
And so basketball has been really a part of you for your entire life. Basketball has been a piece of who you are, is that right?
Absolutely, yeah.
But you're here today, Christian, because as basketball is your dream, has been your life, has been the things that you have been working towards, you also have a story to tell, and you're telling it on national television for the very first time. So what can you tell me about your diagnosis?
So I was born with a diagnosis called cystic fibrosis. It's a genetic condition, and it affects my lungs and pancreas. I have a really mild version of the condition. For example, I'm 6'9", and you're not supposed to be as tall when you have cystic fibrosis. You're not supposed to gain as much weight when you have cystic fibrosis. You're not supposed to be just doing the things that I'm doing right now. And a lot of times they would call me like a miracle case. And it's all thanks to God because, you know, when I was younger and I was admitted, I don't think it really settled in for me that I had cystic fibrosis until I was admitted to the hospital for about 2 weeks. And I was being pumped with medication and things like that. How old were you? I was about maybe like 10. And I felt like quitting most of the times, and it was hard for me. It really was. But the fact, I always wanted to be normal. Like, I always wanted to be like a normal kid. So I never told anybody that I had cystic fibrosis. I never let it affect me. I never just went around saying, like, having people feeling sorry for me. Like, I just wanted to just show people I can still do the things I'm doing, like, with it. So it was pretty challenging. But for the most part, it's really helped me grow to who I am today.
When it comes to basketball, when did you know for sure that this was going to be a sport that was going to be safe, that you were going to be able to pursue at an incredibly high level? Because I'm sure there was a moment where that was in doubt.
I always knew that I had the ability to, be really great, and regardless of what I have going on. And when I would say I was a freshman, I was playing JV, and I was at the bottom. Like, it was bad. It was bad. I had a lot of hate that I was hearing from people around me and on TikTok, and that's why I started showing my journey on my TikTok, and it was just people hating on me. And
when you say hate, what do you mean?
I would mean, like, just people doubting me, laughing at me. Like, at a point, I was about 6'5", and I couldn't dunk. And people were just, like, laughing at me and making jokes. I would never be good. Who are you? Just a whole bunch of different things. And it always, I used to come home sometimes in tears and, like, and I used to cry. And I just knew, like, I had to separate myself. And if I wanted to get to where I wanted to go, then I had to sacrifice certain things. And the hate that I was experiencing, it tore me apart. I would feel like it really did. But I just let that fuel me. I just let that keep me going, because it was a lot. It was a lot.
There hasn't been an NBA player that has been diagnosed with cystic fibrosis that we know about. I'm hoping you can put yourself in that frame of mind, walking across the stage, shaking the commissioner's hand, and what that is going to represent for so many people. How does that make you feel picturing that dream?
I just know that I got to stay grounded, and I know that I'm so close, but I'm so far. And I just can't get complacent, because, yes, I made a huge jump right now, but ever since, like, I knew what it felt like to be at the bottom, I will never not be humble ever again. I will always make sure I stay grounded, and I always keep working, because, yes, I'm number 5 in the country. Yes, I'm a down. Yes, I got hoops on, but it doesn't mean nothing unless I got to make it. Like, I still didn't make it yet, like, so just to have this dream, and I'm just so close to it, it's really a blessing, but I just got to keep going.
Your mom brought this magazine here of a young Christian. It says, "Christian won't quit. A lung disease can't stop this 12-year-old basketball star."
Yeah.
What would both of you want this 12-year-old, this sweet young Christian, to know as you are sitting here on the verge, really, of all of your basketball dreams coming true?
I mean, man, Christian, we doing it. I mean, we're doing it. We're doing it.
You certainly are. Christian, Angel, I cannot thank you enough for your time. I am wishing you the best of luck in your journey, and I very much hope that in just a couple of years that we will be sitting across from each other at the NBA draft.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Christian, thank you so much, Angel.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Christian Collins will announce his college commitment tomorrow. He's deciding between Kentucky, USC, and Louisville. Here's a look at the top 5 in ESPN's 2026 SC Next 100 recruiting prospects. And you can see Christian Collins, number 5 overall, number 2 power forward. So that announcement, that commitment, is coming here on Wednesday. And certainly we've never seen an NBA player with cystic fibrosis, and we wish him the best of luck. In the spirit of St. Patrick's Day, we're counting down the lucky